Players and head coach Tommy Lloyd. Plus, your thoughts on what you saw. The postgame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed. Life well lived. This is your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Conrad waiting for a screen from Menno. He gets that as the ball knocked away, goes back to save it. Over to Lloyd, right corner. Whiteman steps left, shoots, banked it in for three. Another one of the seniors, and the fans love it.
Grant Whiteman stealing folks' money. Oh, the legend from Tucson knocks down the three and turns a 14-point game into a 17-point game when the spread was 15. How about that?
Gotta love it when those bench guys get in there, huh?
You love it. Love it. I'm just surprised. Well, again, I mean, it did get a little tight there late. Arizona wins at 83-66 over the Utah Utes. Utah still has not won here in Tucson since the 1980s. And the Wildcats retain their spot all alone in second place in the Big 12 Conference, is where, again, you want to be in that top four. And the Wildcats are now 13-4, so they remain 3 games behind the Houston Cougars, who we mentioned on our pregame show have already clinched a share of the title. The Cougars have won 7 consecutive games. I mean, again, they are on pace to go 19-1. But if something crazy were to happen and they lost their last 3 and Arizona won their last 3, then, hey, Arizona would have a share of that title. But as long as they are in one of those top 4 spots, as you heard on the postgame show, if you were listening with Brian and Ryan, the Wildcats will get one of those coveted double buys. Again, this is 16 teams. All 16 teams are going to this tournament. Now, that's not always the case in some of these big conferences. They don't always take everybody, and we haven't really talked about this. And I don't know if tonight's the night to talk about it, but again, 5 games, and they were talking about at the end of the broadcast. 5 games in 5 days. That's just that. It seems a little bit ridiculous to me that you would have teams play. 5 games in 5 days. We go to some of these preseason tournaments and you play 3 games in 3 days, and that seems like a lot. But 5 in 5 days for a bid to the NCAA tournament, I guess if you're one of those teams that is out of it, then that might be worth it. But holy smokes, that's a lot of basketball to have to play. And I don't know. Again, money talks, but I don't know how much sense that makes. Do you have to take all 16 teams? Would it make sense not, to take 12 versus 16? And then, you give these other 4 teams at the bottom something to fight for in the last week of the season. I need to get to where Cincinnati is. Right now, if you only took 12, Cincinnati's the last team in. Oklahoma State, Central Florida, Arizona State, and Colorado are all on the outside looking in. But at least Oklahoma State and Central Florida would have something to fight for, over the course of the last few games. But 16 teams is probably too many in my mind. But
the problem is 2011, where a UConn Huskies team lost their last 5 games, were out of the tournament, and then they won 5 games in 5 days to win the Big East title. Right. And then Kemba Walker and crew won 6 games in a row. They won 11 games in a row. They were not going to be in the NCAA tournament. So there's your argument for why the bottom-feeding teams, because that UConn team literally did go on an 11-game winning streak after coming off a 5-game losing streak. They weren't even going to be in the tournament. That NC State team, right, Valvano, they were not. They had to win their ACC tournament, post-game season tournament just to get in that year.
The NC State team a few years ago. Was that last year before?
Those are the stories we diehards love to remember. It's those teams that, not the Cinderellas, the small market teams, like seeing, not to diss on any fan bases, but back in the day it was the Zags. Back in the day, Davidson, we've seen. There are some teams that you don't expect as 12 seeds or whatever, Kelvin, to make a trip to the Final Four. But it's really those either bigger name teams from the bigger power conferences that struggle in the regular season and then just go on some kind of crazy magical run. That's the stuff of legend.
And I'll say this for the conference tournament. I feel like the 5 games, yes, it is long, and it's not meant for the people that are playing in the 5 games to actually make it.
Right.
Right? They supposed to get knocked off after a couple games. But I love it because it gives you a chance to resurrect your season. It gives you a chance to play against the number 1 team. You're last in conference. You get to play the number 1 team if you win the first game. And what if you knock them off? You may very well lose the next game, the semifinal game, and never make it to the tournament, but you got a chance to play Kansas or Arizona, and you took them to the wire, or you beat them. I mean, you got a story to tell. I mean, all these guys play college basketball, so I actually like that all the teams get there. But, yeah, get a bye, even get a couple days bye for those teams at the top.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. In terms of tonight's game, fabulous performance by Caleb Love, 7 of 15 shooting, 6 of 12 from 3, 50% shooting from three-point land. He had it going on tonight, dished out 7 assists, 23 points in 33 minutes to go along with those 7 assists. Wildcats had 4 players in double figures. They pushed it to the basket. They got to the foul line. A lot of the things we wanted to see them. And they made threes. Again, and this was one of the things that, we've been talking about. I mean, is this team 9 threes? I'm cool with that. I'm cool. 9 of 27. Maybe with a 33%. That's right at 33%. 3-point shooting percentage. Maybe you like if you're going to take 27, you make 10 or 11. But I'm fine with 9. Because I said on the pregame, a 7 to 11, I think is the neighborhood where they're going to need to be moving forward in terms of their ability to shoot the 3 ball. And they did that tonight. And I really continue to love to see the blocks and the steals. I mean, I think we've said it a few times lately. 8-9, 7-8. Once again tonight, 7-8. 7 blocks, 8 steals.
You know what those are called? Stonks.
Stonks.
Yeah, that's what the kids call them.
So
blocks and steals combined.
And steals. Yeah. Stonks. I like that. Have you heard of that one? I have not heard of that one. You heard of that one, Calvin?
I have not.
That's what I said. That's what the kids call it. That's what they call it online. Yeah,
All
stonks.
right.
Okay,
Stonks.
yeah, online.
I'm good with that. I love, me, I love my nicknames for sure. So good to hear that. All right, on to Iowa State. Saturday, again, an evening game. It'll be 7 here. It'll be 8 o'clock there. And the Wildcats, 3 games to go, 2 on the road. Hostile environments, Iowa State and Kansas, with a middle game in between to wrap things up here at McHale Center for the year against the rival Sun Devils, who were getting beat up again tonight by BYU up in Tempe. Again, number to get on the program is 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. A lot to come tonight. We will review our keys to the game. We'll hand out our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. We'll take a look at our best bets, as well as give you all the scores from around the country tonight, and a whole lot more. It is David Kelly along with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot post-game coverage of Arizona basketball is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The post-game show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Desert Diamond Casinos, Dorado Rock, First Chiropractic, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Post and Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low-pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Upgrade with new windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom order windows to fit your style and budget. With our exclusive SI window brand made right here in the USA, you'll get a full lifetime warranty, including glass replacement, for ultimate peace of mind. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you and start your project today. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu?
Totaled in Tucson.
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
To Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rocking K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Looking for unlimited gameplay all season long? Dave & Buster's is introducing the all-new Winter Season Pass. You can pick your perfect pass and play like a Dave & Buster's VIP with unlimited access to over 140 games and deals on sips and bites. Sign up now and take advantage of this incredible deal now through February 28th. Don't forget to stop in Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials and grab the all-new Winter Season Pass. There's nowhere better to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's, the best place outside the stadium to see the games this football season.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
KJ slides top of the circle. Drives right, stops there. Jumper from the elbow is good for 2.
Pure jump shot. KJ driving his defender to a spot, knowing he's going to be able to rise above there. Excellent pull-up J for KJ.
KJ Lewis. 7 points tonight, 2 of 8, missed all 3 of his threes, 3 of 4 from the line. KJ Lewis, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 1 steal in 23 minutes tonight. Top takeaways for me, obviously the performance of Caleb Love. This is the Caleb Love you want to see consistently through the rest of the remainder of the month. Before walking in here, I said to myself, if Caleb Love plays like this every night for the next month. The Wildcats will be playing in the following month after that, which is known as April, because April is when the Final Four is. He is simply that good and can put a team on his back when needed. A couple times, he'll get into himself and just take that heat check three, just because he's feeling it, and probably not the best shot in some of those situations. But hey, still 7 of 15 is right around 50%. So if he wants to take maybe one or two of those, I can be quite okay with that. And the other thing was, obviously, the game, it did get a little closer at the end, but I was surprised still, and I don't know if you guys were, that Tommy maybe didn't go a little bit deeper into the bench. And is that a sign now that we're at that point where the rotation is set and he's just going to go with his main 8 guys at this point in the season, and there's really not going to be much Conrad Martinez at this point of the year or moving forward, unless absolutely positively needed for some type of injury situation?
Yeah, no, this is it. This is it. He has his guys that he's going with, and he's doing what I always say. J-Dub, I always say this. He's keeping them in what we call game shape. They have to play heavy minutes, so you have to play heavy minutes in games. So I'm sure he's cutting down their practice time, but he's making sure that they get their minutes, because he's know they're going to be needed for these minutes when the big games come.
Yeah, I think in emergency, obviously, you think Conrad could come in for 5 minutes, foul trouble, that kind of thing. I'm sure he has faith. But at this stage of the season, guys, with very few games left in the regular season, the guys that are out there playing for the vast 38, 39 minutes until games maybe gets away, that's it. The rotation is what it's going to be. And, if anybody out there wanted to see 8 or 9 deep, that needed to happen November, December, January. Let those guys feel their way through some mistakes, Kelvin, in maybe some games where Arizona, had a 10, 15, 20-point lead. It's a little too late for that now. And so the guys he trusts, the guys that Coach Lloyd trusts to run his stuff, to execute the game plan, they're the guys we're seeing now. They're the guys we're seeing moving forward. I know that he's talks quite a bit about, especially El Jefecito, wanting to get him in and get him more playing time. I'm sure, Kelvin, that guy could come in for a minute here, a minute there. But as far as 8, 10-minute stretches and JB playing closer to 30, I mean, he going to ride with his guys.
And I'll say this, tonight would have been a tough matchup for Conrad, because this was one of the taller teams.
Right. It's like third tallest team in the nation. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really nobody for him really to guard out there today. It would have put them in some mismatches. So there you go.
Caleb Love, again, 23 points tonight. And when Caleb is feeling it is when he has that little extra flick in his wrist. I don't know if you've seen it when he takes that 3-pointer. It's like a little extra flick that he puts on that basketball, and you could see that tonight on his shots. I was like, yeah, he's feeling it. He knows he's got his shot. He knows he's got his fastball tonight. What'd you guys kind of feel about the way that Caleb performed out there?
Yeah, I was more so looking at his legs. With shooters, I always like to see if they're getting their legs into the shot, and it just seems like his base is set up. It just seemed like coming off the screens, he was always getting into the 1-2, lifting up, on balance. The rest is history when he get it up to the top. As you say, the wrist was flowing tonight, but to me, I really like that he was getting his base under him before he was taking the shots.
Yep, agree 100%. I think Caleb's best when he's not wrist flicking casually in the general direction of the rim, but goosenecking, following through, shoulders squared. I mean, we know he can make some Kobe-like, twisted type shots. I mean, he's a shot maker. But the best version of Caleb is this guy who simplifies the game and doesn't attempt to try to make the hardest shot possible, but just takes what the defense gives him and moves the ball, Kelvin, when it's not there. That's the best version of Caleb. That's what we've seen the last few games. Not forcing anything, but, a couple of those J's he got were catch and shoot, right? Out of the offensive flow. He just was the one who found himself to be open. That's the best version of Caleb. I love it.
All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's hear from Gary. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day after a 83-66 Arizona win over Utah.
All right, okay, guys, kind of please bear with me because I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, well, welcome, Gary.
Thanks. So anyways, This game wasn't televised, so I had to listen to this game on the app. And I know Caleb Love had an immortal game. A lot of games that he had last year, and it kind of reminds me of Samson. That once they cut his hair, he became a mortal man. And I was wondering, did Caleb have his dreadlocks on tonight? Because he had a heck of a game.
You said Samson, like Samson from the Bible? Samson?
Yes, once they cut his hair, he became weak. And Caleb Love has been not the player that I was expecting him to be this year. He's been not, I don't want to say weak, but he's contributed, but he hasn't been the Caleb Love, the All-American that he has been.
Well,
so I was wondering, did he have dreadlocks on tonight?
And it's interesting because I went back and I looked at the numbers this past week, and they really aren't that different from last season.
Really?
I mean, the number, there are a few things, there's a few areas where he's down, but statistically, most of the numbers were flat from last year to this year.
Well, the one of the numbers I recall, I want to say he averaged 21 points last year at 49% shooting. The last time I saw, I want to say he was averaging like 13, 14 points a game at 30-some% shooting.
I don't think, he's averaging 16 points per game. But let me pull it up. Pull it up again, and I can tell you exactly what it was last year. So last year he averaged 18. This year he's at 16. So that number, that number's a little bit down. But in terms of shots made, I mean, he's essentially, and it's, I round up numbers because they put a lot of point this and point that, but essentially he's shooting 15 shots a game, making 6, roughly 3 for 8 from 3 per game. I mean, the percentages are largely the same. He's shooting better from the line this year at 87%. Rebounds are down a little bit from last year, but just a minuscule amount. Yeah, it's for the most part flat, the numbers in terms of it's not as big a drop off as it might seem.
Okay, right on. Okay, now I was listening. I'm not sure if it's your pregame show or Brian Jeffries, but I recall someone saying that U of A was on pace to have the best or to finish the third best free throw percentage shooting in a program or school history.
Correct.
Okay, so and then we're in the Big 12. We were right behind Central Florida.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just curious if someone could do the homework for me. I'm gonna hang up and listen to this. How many attempts has Central Florida attempted this year compared to U of A's?
We'll look that up for you, Gary. No problem.
I'm gonna hang up and listen to that. And thanks. Have a good show and have a good evening.
Yeah, hold on for a little while because we'll get to that. We'll get to that and figure out what those numbers are for you. But yeah, this right now going into this game is on pace to be the third best program. They shoot 78% from the line, and I think they were right around that tonight. 70. What was it tonight? They were 76. So a little bit.
So Arizona is 23rd in the nation. They shoot 77.5, and Central Florida is 20th in the nation. They shoot 77.75. UCF has attempted 606 free throws in 27 games. U of A 586 free throws in 27 games. So that means that UCF has attempted 20 more free throws in the same number of games.
Okay.
So that's less than 1 per game. More.
There you go. Gary, I hope you got the information that you were looking for there. 2 pretty good free throw shooting teams. Arizona doing it very, very well. And you liked, again, that was one of the things I wanted to see tonight was them get back up close to 30, and they were able to get to 29. 7 by Carter Bryant. He made 5. 7 by Henry Vasar. He made 5. So that's good. I like seeing the bigs. 10 of 14. I'm cool with that. Toby was 2 for 2. Trey was 2 for 2. So the bigs got to the line, and they knocked them down tonight. That was a very big positive for this Wildcats team, I thought. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's chat with Howie. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday.
It's David Kelly to the top of the key, turns around, takes a jump shot. It's good.
Oh man, you're really making my night, Howie.
I know. I wanted to do that for a long time. Hey, you know what? In the beginning of your show, when you're talking about these other schools with kind of streaks to the top, how about the Cats in '97? They finished 5th in the pack and won the championship. You know?
But they were already in, and what did they do? What did they do in the was there a tournament?
They did not win the conference tournament. No, there wasn't at the time.
There was not.
That's all. The only difference is, Howie, we're talking about teams that were forced. They could not get to the NCAA tournament unless they won. Because a lot of people don't understand, but most conferences give the automatic berth to the winner of the postseason conference tournament, not the winner of the regular season conference tournament. Back in our days in the Pac-10, before the two teams joined, it was always the winner of the regular season that got it. That ACC tournament back in the day, North Carolina State had to win to get the auto bid, and same with UConn, had to win the auto bid. But there is no doubt that as far as like coming from a Midland standings in conference to beating 3-1 seeds, the Wildcats of '97 is the greatest NCAA tournament story as far as I'm concerned. But they didn't have to win their postseason tournament to get in.
I agree. Hey, I got a couple other things. Okay, when I watch Utah, it's kind of like, to me, going back historically, it's kind of like the opposite of the U of A. We got Lute Olson, and then the program exploded exponentially. And as soon as Majoris, I think he got sick and died, left the Utah program, it hasn't been the same. It's never been the same. It's kind of like the opposite,
It's tough. That's what they say is the architect of a program. How do you replace that? And yeah, I know that Utah had quite a lot of success before Rick Majerus got there. I mean, I think they're in the top 20 all time as far as wins of programs. There's 350 schools. The Utah Utes all time are in the top 20 in total wins in some smaller conferences, but they certainly haven't had that national recognition. We all remember Van Horn, right? And all those guys. Who's that point guard who backed everybody down? Andre Miller. Yeah, Andre Miller. He was a Ute.
To potentially be on the list of coaching candidates.
Yeah. I mean, the Utes at one point were definitely a national name, and they were top 10, top 15 perennially. It's just tough to get back there, especially after some period of time has passed. And, having a legacy guy, Kelvin, to come in and maybe carry on what that coach, that great legendary coach, and his principles and philosophies and how he built his program initially. That's why you hear, we mentioned the guy, who are we talking about who might be up for Florida job? The guy who's the assistant at Duke?
Jai Lucas.
Okay, so Jai Lucas is the first Duke Blue Devil assistant in 30 years who didn't play there. Right?
Wow.
So, that's that's consistency, continuity. You're talking about Coach K bringing his philosophy that he taught to players into that coaching ranks. It's tough when Rick Majerus leaves and you don't have continuity. They've had some hit and misses since then, but you're right. I mean, it hasn't been those glory days we remember, Kelvin. I mean, back when you guys were playing them, they were damn good. So, yeah, I'd love to see, because that's a really proud fan base, too, and a good building to watch basketball in.
And I'll say this. I wonder, what is their NIL situation? Because it seems like BYU is really getting out there.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm wondering, what is their NIL situation? Because they lost, who is it, Keita?
Yeah, Keita.
Keita?
Yep.
Yeah, they lost him to BYU.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that has something to do with some NIL somewhere.
I was floored when Brian said on the at the end of the broadcast, they haven't been to the tournament. Will be since 9 years. 2016 is the last time they've been to the tournament. I was like, man, it seemed like I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, look here. It says 91, 93, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, and then a lapse after that. So they were there. They were in the conversation every year, but not in a while,
They beat. I remember one year. I think I already moved up to Oregon. They beat a favored Arizona team with Majoris's triangle and one defense. I forgot what year that was, but they weren't favored and they beat us.
Yeah,
They
that was
knocked
the
us
year
out
after the
of
title.
Yeah, it was 98.
Triangle
98, yep. Andre Miller was on that team.
Yep, that was Andre Miller.
You know what happened to all the players that used to go to Utah? They started going to Gonzaga.
Yeah, good point.
Hey, one other thing I want to mention. You know, I'm semi-retired, so I listen to all these podcasts and stuff, sports podcasts, and now especially with the Big 12 podcast. And I listen to these guys describe Arizona, and it's really interesting. It's like they describe us as like either good or you don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's kind of true because we've talked about the consistency of the team a lot on this show, you know, and that's how a lot of people see us around the country. It's like you never know what you're going to get when you play Arizona, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is that you can count on one hand how many consistent programs there are this year. Right? I mean, it's not that Arizona is an outlier. There are 340 inconsistent programs, and there are 5, maybe 10. And they're led, Auburn, I'll say it again. Auburn has 10 seniors, and their starting lineup averages 22 and a half years old.
Yeah.
Averages 22 and a half years old. So you get inconsistency when you're mixing in transfers from smaller schools with freshmen in the rotation, a new conference, all those things. I mean, inconsistency is a part of college basketball. Those teams we all remember fondly, like the undefeated Rebels teams, right? That team returned all 5 starters and the 2 guys off the bench. So those are the scenarios you're going to find consistency in. Even the teams that we think of as being great this year, like Duke, has had some stinkers, has had some games where they didn't play up to that level.
I think Houston's like that too, aren't they? They have older guys on that team.
They do. There's a couple of seniors and a junior are their 3 best players.
And he redshirt every guy that comes there.
Exactly. Yeah, they're older too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just in the mood for, you know, going through history, I guess. I don't know.
You know what it lends?
Well, it's funny because we were just talking about that last night at the women's game. It's like Texas Tech was here and they've lost 9 games in a row. It's been 20 years since they were good. 20 years. I mean, we were there. I asked the coach, and then we'll play it tomorrow on DK on the Sports Tip. I asked her, I was like, we remember when you all were good, you know, back in the day. Do you think, is it possible to get back to that? I mean, there's apparently, there's NIL money down there in Lubbock. I mean,
sure.
they paid a bunch of money to this girl, softball player, to get her to come down there. And obviously they've got the men's program rolling, but their women's program is bad.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that too.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned this before on the show. It's like in football, we were in the border conference with them, and then they switched to the Big 8, and we went our way. We've played them a zillion times, Texas Tech, and we've only beaten them like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, 4 times. Yep. We talked when we played them this year, we said, wow, they've owned the football rivalry. And one of the times was the last time we played them when they came here and Khalil Tate beat them.
Yeah, it's just amazing. We can't beat that team, you know? I don't know. It's weird how sports are, you know?
It is, Howie. It is.
It really is. Hey, it's great talking to you guys. Thanks for putting up with my questions and stuff.
Don't listen to too many of those podcasts. You'll drive yourself crazy.
I know. This is what old people in semi-retirement do. Get ready, guys.
Okay. All right.
It's coming.
We don't read anymore in retirement. We listen to podcasts all day long.
Hey, listen to podcasts. Crazy podcasts.
Appreciate it, Howie.
Hey,
thanks.
Cheryl
Take
Swoops.
care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Back in them Cheryl Swoops days. I can't believe that was 20 years ago. Holy mackerel.
That probably was longer than that ago.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
I remember watching her when I was in high school.
Right.
And then like 10 years went by after she finished college, and then the WNBA was formed, and then they won the first 3, right? She was scoring leader like the first 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was looking at a picture yesterday, one of the Diana Taurasi pictures of that 04 Olympic team she was on, and the legends that were on that team. Don Staley was a player on that team, and all those women who helped build that league. He'll help get us to the point where we could have a WNBA.
That was semi-funny last night with the questions to the players in the women's post-game after the senior day about what Diana Taurasi meant to them. And Coach Barnes is like, well, me and DT have been friends going back for 30 years. That's my girl, because they're peers, right?
She's like, I don't know how she's still doing it.
Right.
All right. 83-66, Arizona beats Utah. We've got much more coming up for you straight ahead. We'll hear from Carter Bryant and who was it? Carter Bryant and I believe Jaden Bradley. I'm sorry, Carter Bryant and Toby Awaka after tonight's game. Tommy Lloyd as well. 83-66, Wildcats beat Utah. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day continues after this timeout on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining,
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
It's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and the spider, scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 5-star Google reviews from across Arizona, like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. After any accident, remember, deferred is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Over to Lloyd, right corner. Whiteman steps left, shoots, banked it in for three. Another one of the seniors, and the fans love it.
Tucson, what happened with today's best bets? Did the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, well, Grant Whiteman. He's part of the story tonight because the line was 15. Arizona minus 15, and their lead was just 14 until Grant Whiteman hit that basket at the end, and then Utah went down and had a chance on another three, and dude missed the shot. So that's how that ended. If you had Arizona minus the 15, you win tonight. Our guy Danny, we talked to him pregame. He says, when Whiteman jacked up that shot, I instantly thought, there's no way that's going in. Tell me, Kelvin, how many could you bank from there from a full rack?
Man, I don't know. I don't know about that one, man. He just launched that thing up.
Whiteman helped cash a lot of tickets. Woohoo! And he ends his text with the money bag, the money bag emoji.
My biggest takeaway, I didn't really do my takeaway yet, but my biggest takeaway, guys, was for 30 minutes, they played about as ferocious on ball and in passing lane defense as we've seen. I mean, they shut it all down. You turned the Utes over. That's a team that likes to pass it around. They had a 23-point lead with 10 minutes to go in the game. I think the last maybe 5 minutes, 10-minute stretch, you talk about maybe tired legs or we're already up by 25, Kelvin. You know, let's give 80% effort instead of 110% effort, that whole thing. But they coasted towards the end there. And, yeah, Whiteman made the difference at the very end.
83-66. How about this? 149. 149.
Push.
Oh, no. Over-under was 149.5. So
that dreaded half.
Everybody loses. That might be as close a night as we have had.
I think we had one push at one point this year.
Yeah, we did have one push.
Yeah, I mean, half a point.
Yeah, we did get an even number one day, which we very rarely get an even number on the over-under. But we did get one earlier in the year.
I mean, if Gabe Madsen didn't go one for 10 or whatever that was.
Yeah, Gabe Madsen had a rough night.
He did.
2 for 10, all 3-pointers, 4 for 4 from the line. 10 points. He did have 7 assists, so there was that point. He only turned it over one time.
Incidentally, my man, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, has been saying it for longer than y'all been listening. But if you think Caleb Love can't play defense, go watch that tape.
Man, he was locking up.
Yeah, he was responsible for their best player having a rough night. Mostly. I mean, he wasn't on him the whole game, but he was on him a lot.
Well, and that's one of the things you can't, when we talk about, the statistics being flat, you can't really judge the effort in terms of the stats. And I think defensively, obviously, that is an area where Caleb Love has largely, vastly improved over last season.
Yeah, that and assisting the ball as well.
Yeah.
I think those two things that he really came into the season, especially once the shot really wasn't going, he really turned it up on that side defensively. And when he's getting downhill, to me, is when he's even better. He shot 12 threes today, right?
12.
Yeah, man. It was. I think it was like 3 of them that he could have got downhill with. I felt like.
Well, he had a couple of those where he had a man right in front of him, and he was probably at 22, 23 feet, and he got in triple threat, and he was threatening to drive and did a couple of jab steps and then just shot it right over the top. There's a couple of those.
Yeah, and I just thought he could have turned the corner. I'm like, stay attacking, especially when you're assisting the ball as well as you are.
So he's 1 assist shy now of 100. And so he'll have 100-plus assists in 4 of his 5 collegiate seasons. The only year he did not have over 100 assists was his last year at North Carolina when he finished with 94.
Yeah, that was not a good team.
He had 122 assists last year. Here, that was the second most he's ever had in a season. His sophomore year at Carolina, he had 139 assists.
I wonder what the U of A record is for most 100 assist guys. It's got to be like 3 or 4.
Because
they're going to have
assist guys.
They're going to have 3 this year. Because Caleb's 1 away and KJ Lewis is right on the cusp too.
Now you got me thinking. I might have to go see.
Well, just think about all the great passing teams that with all the guards, right? So I mean, even the championship team, how many guards were pass happy on that team, right? We obviously have to go look it up, but there's been several U of A squads that had 3 or 4 playmakers, and then Luke Walton was on those teams.
I was going to say, Luke Walton team had to be
later, yeah. So
Kelvin and I take a double loss with taking Utah on the 15 and the over, and J-Dub gets at least one cash ticket with him taking U of A and laying the 15 points. Wildcats win it by 17, but the over-under comes in just a half point short. So you won tonight if you took the under. That is how it
banked it in for 3.
Thanks to Grant Whiteman. Buy him a piece.
Today, we're today's best bets, brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
One thing we haven't mentioned, guys, is that they held the Utes to 33%. So I mean, the defense was outrageous, but that might have been one of the worst shooting performances by Arizona, because they came in. I mean, they finished the night at 41, right? So they shot 41.3% from the field. Did the Arizona Wildcats? There's your half point. If you really if we're really splitting hairs here, the half point under that over that didn't cover is maybe due to the 41.3% from Arizona from the field.
Who did not shoot well tonight? Anthony, 2 for 7, missed all 4 of his threes. 21 minutes, did score 4 points.
He had a really nice finish in traffic.
Yeah. Trey missed all 3 of his shots, but thought he was more active tonight in his 14 minutes of play. 2 points and 4 rebounds. Both his points were at the line.
Yeah, KJ was 2 for 8.
Yeah,
Jaden was 5 for 14.
Yeah, and Jaden was 5 for 14 in the game. So, not the best shooting night overall for the team, but enough to get it done tonight against the Utah Utes, who fall under their new interim coach, Josh Eilert, in his first game.
They had a bit of a nice moment there. Did you see that at the end, the handshake line?
Yeah.
Coach Lloyd generally has a good half second where he acknowledges, because, a lot of these guys are peers, they hang out, but he took the time. Those two guys had a good 5-10 second conversation there at the end. Really tough spot that he's in.
And Tommy apparently talked a little bit about that in his post-game remarks, so we'll hear that coming up a little bit later for you.
I was going to say, I wonder, did he get on there and say, like Coach Kelvin Sampson, but there's an asterisk after this one because of what happened to their coach?
Is that something from the past that Kelvin Sampson said? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, he said there was an asterisk on the Texas Tech game because they were down 2 players.
Toppin got kicked. Oh, yeah, right, because their best 2 scorers didn't.
Yeah,
right,
best 2 scorers. Yeah. So he came on and said that, and of course, Coach came back and said, no, this was a Division I game. My guys played, and we were right in the game with a chance to win. But again, Coach Kelvin Sampson just, understanding that, hey, they was without 2 of their best players, 2 of their best shooter, perimeter players. So
not like 2 guys have been out for months, but 2 guys who got scratched 2 days before that game, 3 days before that game.
So this is almost the same, whereas the coach got scratched, a day before the game?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, we talked about last night, Oklahoma State knocking off Iowa State. I would imagine maybe they might not have. They were still maybe missing their guys last night. I didn't look at the box score to see if either of those guys were back. But just looking at it now, it looks like neither one of them played.
Well, you know what's happening right now, guys? These teams are getting ready for the tournament. They're getting ready for the tournament. If I'm not winning it, if you're not winning the
conference,
Big 12, if I'm not winning the conference, I might as well start resting my guys to get ready to go on this run through the tournament and try to get into the NCAA
Okay, well, so
tournament.
let me ask you about that, because just 20 minutes ago you said that Tommy's playing his guys deep in the game because he's got to get them ready, and now you're saying that other teams are not.
Now, let me say this. That's up to the coach.
Right.
I don't – you know what? I'll say this. This is up to the team. Because if I got a veteran team that I kind of know the guys and I understand what we have, then maybe I'm comfortable with it. But if I have a team where I'm still kind of moving guys around in the starting lineup, trying to figure things out, tinkering here and there, then maybe not so much. So, and I think they're still trying to secure that top 4 spot. So I think I think that's right kind of where he's at. But if I'm a team that's out of those top 4 spots.
But Iowa State is not one of those teams. They've got a shot at the top 4. They're not one of those teams yet.
Well, then their guys must be really injured.
Yeah.
It's one of those 2 reasons. Trust.
Let's see. BYU and Iowa State, have they played?
I would imagine they have.
No, they have not. They have not played yet. So they play on the 4th of March, and they're in a tie right now for that 4th spot. So you talk about the 4th spot in conference being the team that gets the double bye. The top 4 teams get double bye. Currently, Iowa State and BYU both tied at 11-6 in conference, and they have yet to play each other.
So that would be, and the 4th is the last day of the regular season. No,
it's the second to last. They got the 8th. Yeah, Kansas
last.
State on the 8th. So they have Arizona, BYU, and Kansas State is what Iowa State
and
has.
The 4th is Tuesday. So that's the night that we play Arizona State here.
Yep.
In what is going to be a late senior night at 9:00.
They better do it pregame.
Yeah, well, that's what the women did last night, and I missed it because we were on the air at the time. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call us, text us. We'll read some more of your texts. Check in with us on any of our social media platforms. We are streaming this show on Facebook Live. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. We are on Instagram. Instagram Live right now. If you've got a comment for us on Instagram, go ahead and slide that into the comment section. Hit the like button on all of the platforms that you are watching the show right now, and let us know what you think of your Arizona Wildcats. We love to read your comments on the air. We'll read some more. Hey, I'll read K-Dub's post tonight. He checks in after a win. How about that? Although he says Tommy got outcoached again.
Today?
Yeah, that's what he said. He says Tommy got outcoached again. Debbie Gatewood checks in.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie. I always appreciate you. She was intent to watch her Arkansas Razorbacks take on Texas, and I think they were up late. Did they finish them off?
I'd have to check.
We were watching that game here, but I didn't see what happened at the end.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I didn't see what ended up happening at the end.
Oh,
I saw what happened at the end of the Michigan State game.
Technical foul at the end of the game. They got a technical foul. Arkansas ended up winning.
Okay.
Right at the end,
Yeah, Arkansas won it in overtime, 86-81, so it's a happy night for Debbie.
She knows her basketball. She played and coached. She's a basketball junkie.
There we go. Trey Johnson, though, 39 tonight for the Longhorns.
Yeah, you know me and his dad are friends. We played on the same AAU team.
Is that right?
Yeah, Richard Johnson.
Nice. They're still struggling though. I mean, they're only 16-12, 5-10 in the SEC. They're one of the Texas teams that's not good. It seems like all the Texas teams. I mean, the women are now number one. And when we've talked the last couple years about the Directors Cup and how Texas has become the dominant program in the nation, and it's because they are really, really good now in pretty much all of their women's sports. Basketball, though, was kind of the last one to arrive, but now their women's basketball team is number one in the country. But they still haven't gotten the men's basketball thing together. They've still been up and down with that.
Even when KD was there, they weren't great.
Yeah,
so.
no, That's it's curious.
Was that coach Chris Beard?
Yeah.
When KD was there, was it Beard?
No. I'm just saying. I was just talking about he was just there, right?
Yeah.
And then the situation happened, and then they got the new coach. So.
Right. I'm not sure who the new coach is.
Oh no, I definitely know who he is. Oh man, wow. Yeah, I know.
Rodney Terry.
Yes, Rodney Terry.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
former
at
assistant
UTEP.
here.
Yep.
Right?
No.
Wasn't Rodney?
That's Terry.
Okay.
No. Yeah, that's
okay.
Rodney.
Different Terry. All right. All right, 520-848-1290. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We'll hand out our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Coming up next, we'll hear from the players as well. It was Carter Bryant and Toby Awaka. Wildcats knock off Utah 83-66 Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day continues on Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot postgame coverage of Arizona basketball is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. The postgame show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Desert Diamond Casinos, Dorado Rock, First Chiropractic, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Post and Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management, wealth well managed, life well lived.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah, it's just, she's my baby girl,
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of a home remodel, don't stress. The Window Depot is here to help. At the Window Depot, we're your one-stop warehouse for everything you need for your next remodel. Windows? Check. Doors? Got it. Cabinets, countertops, and everything in between, you'll find it all here at the lowest prices. Whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or whole home makeover, our experienced designers are ready to bring your dream home to life, all at unbeatable prices. Find a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Are you having sewer and drain issues? Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is the name to know when your drains don't flow. We do the dirty jobs so you can focus on yours. Leave the drain pain to the experts. Call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturoxcooling.com.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Inbounds Love left corner. Threes have been good for him tonight. And there's another one for Caleb Love.
The assist should go to Tobe Awaka. He absolutely set a great wall of China screen on that defender.
Out of bounds play, Kelvin. Out of bounds play for 3.
Yeah, those were the ones that killed them the other night on the defensive side. But they got one to go for them today on the offensive side.
Coach Olson, man, I mean, Kelvin, how many successful out-of-bounds plays? What was the percentage? It had to have been like a high percentage of success, especially after timeouts. Really good.
Set up every time.
Yep.
Know exactly who your opponent is, and just have it set up perfectly for them to be able to execute a shot that you want.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We'll be heading back out to McHale Center here in a moment. We will hear from the new interim head coach of the Utah Utes, Josh Eilert, who was also the interim last year at West Virginia. He spoke for the first time since assuming that role with the firing of Craig Smith on Monday. Our guy Fred Scheib checks in from New Jersey. Felt like it was a good first 3 quarters of the game tonight. Hope Townsend gets back to 100%. Good to see Love and Awaka score. Net should be good. Close losses, big margins, and wins. Net is perfect for the Cats. What was it going into today? I think it was 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're 9th right now.
It was 9. The Wildcats were 9 in the net, 13 in Ken Palm. Arizona's defensive efficiency right now, 20th in the country, according to Ken Palm, while they are 18th in overall efficiency on offense. All right, let's hear from Josh. We got a call. Okay, we got a call. It is Doug in Tucson. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
Oh, hey, thanks, DK, for moving me to the head of the line.
Well,
Appreciate
I didn't see your name, so I wasn't sure exactly what was going on there.
I just called in. It was,
Okay.
very, very quick table service. I appreciate it.
There you go. I used to wait tables, so I know how to do that.
Okay. I don't even know if I used that term correctly, but point is, I got served right away in a good way. But, I think that the team and the fan base needed this game just to kind of catch our breath after the BYU game. And not just the BYU game, but we've just come off a string of some just tense games where it felt like every possession was life or death. And, when you're playing at Kansas State and both teams are ice cold, or you're playing Houston and it's just obviously a slugfest, and then you're playing BYU and everyone's just hitting threes. And, I felt like it was nice to be able to kick back, maybe enjoy some of the timeout celebrations, honor the football team at halftime, and
nice.
Focus on the T-shirt tosses a little bit more than like, oh my God, are we going to turn the ball over? So I think that was just, we needed that just to catch our breath before this home stretch, because it's not going to be easy. And that I'm even including our last home game in that mix against a team that'll be nameless. But we don't want to overlook anybody at this point in the season. But I definitely enjoyed that. So, J-Dub, I think you'll probably be the only one, no slight to Kelvin or DK, but who might know the significance of this number. There's a magical number in Arizona basketball. It's 2,555. Do you know what it represents?
2,555.
2555. Yeah, it's been etched in my brain for years. I haven't looked it up to verify it, but I'm almost certain I've got it right.
Man.
Anybody want to guess what the meaning of it is?
55. Would that be, gosh.
I'll give you a
number
hint.
of sellouts?
No, I'll give you a hint. It was
Okay.
broken tonight.
Ooh.
After, what would that be, 36 years?
Oh, I do. I know what it is.
Go ahead.
Leading the conference in attendance?
No, good guess. I'll just come out with it. So, 2,555.
Wait. J-Dub says he knows the answer.
Go ahead. Do it.
I believe that's how many points the best player in Arizona history scored.
Yes, sir. Sean Elliott. You got it. Yeah, I'm almost certain that's what it was. It's just that's such an easy number to remember. So, according to my records, Caleb Love has 2,561 points now.
Yeah.
And so now, granted, that's over 2 schools
Right,
and it's over 5 years. Okay, so I'm not equating him with Sean Elliott.
Sure.
But if I'm correct, I think he has now scored the most points in a college career of anyone who's ever worn the Arizona jersey, which is, just something to put in the back of your brain for a little trivia.
Asterisk.
big asterisk.
Asterisk. Yeah, I would have never thought of that one. Nah, asterisk.
I know. I'm just telling you that it's. I've been watching that number throughout this season because I thought, wow, this guy actually has a chance to surpass that.
It's an astronomical amount of points. I mean, obviously the COVID year adds an entire full season to that number, but so did all of the records we've been talking about got broke. I mean, Pistol Pete's record just got broke, right? And he didn't have a 3-point line, and he played 3 years.
Right.
So 5 years versus 3 years is like, yeah, okay. But
not just. I mean, when you think about fair is fair, Sean Elliott broke Lou Alcindor's record.
Yeah, that's why I always.
He did it in 3 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, the famous story about Lou is that Lou came in as a freshman, and the team prior at UCLA had won the national championship. And he and his freshman squad suited up, and they beat that team by 20 points. So in the year that he couldn't play, the first in his freshman year when freshmen were ineligible. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? But anyway, I'm not saying that it puts Caleb on any kind of tier above anybody else. It's just interesting in terms of anyone else who geeks out on numbers like I do, because that one's always been etched in my brain. But Sean will always be at the top of the mountain. I'm not. That's under no threat. Just the X's and O's thing I wanted to ask Kelvin if I could. So a couple times tonight and a few times in the BYU game, it seems like we had a quick bang change of possession where we were either blocking a shot, getting a steal, or maybe a long rebound, and we just wanted to turn and run the other way, which is great, to start the transition, and we turned it over. And Carter Bryant had a few, some other guys maybe. So what would you coach your guys? Like, you want to have that advantage right before the defense has a chance to set up, but you also don't want to be reckless with it and just turn it right over. So how do you coach a guy to make that decision in the moment?
Well, first, what you want them to do is look up.
Yeah.
You should be able to look up with your eyes and be able to tell if you have an advantage. And you just count. You count the different color jerseys. And if you have an advantage, 1-on-1 actually is an advantage. 2-on-1, we know that. 3-on-2. So,
for sure.
But unless it's Caleb Love with the ball, and if it's 1 versus 3, he has the advantage because he always takes that shot.
Right. So if there's no advantage, slow it down and bring it up, especially in situations where you're winning. And I've seen Carter Bryant kind of get a little overzealous a few times. He tried to throw that thing almost full court and get turnovers, almost every time it happens. But again, you're trying to force the issue, but you want to be smart in doing that because, again, teams are scouting you and saying that these are mistakes that you're making, and they're looking for that.
Yeah, I mean, they were top 5 in the nation in fast break points for the first 3 years under Coach Lloyd, right? So that's on the scout. I mean, if people are going to try to take away one thing from this Arizona Wildcats team under Coach Lloyd, it's making sure they don't get out for easy buckets. And conversely, it's funny because they only had 11 fast break points in this game. And how many offensive rebounds did Utah have? A lot. I mean, they had like 14 or 15 offensive rebounds. So
14.
Yeah, so normally a team will sprint 3 guys. I mean, the point guard has responsibility to get back. That's number one. If you're on defense, I mean, you're on offense and there's a quick change, the point guard's got to sprint back. The easiest way, the way I always liked running breaks was up the sidelines. It doesn't seem like Coach Lloyd. It seems like the way they play it, Kelvin, is much more dribble, pass to the interior as opposed to that guy sprinting up. Because if one point guard's in the middle and you get your wings sprint on both sidelines, right, and then you get pressure on the rim, secondary breaks, wide open threes. But obviously, Doug, as you know, like teams are taking that away. Their priority is to make sure Arizona does not get 25, 40 fast break points and make it a blowout.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing is they're not even letting us gather it sometimes on the quick turnover, where it's like Carter just gets a steal and he's coming down with it, and then they're attacking the guy that just attained the ball. Yeah. So I just think we need to be stronger with that, and then if you have the advantage, then you can push it. But if you don't, go ahead and set up the offense. Because I just feel like in some of these games coming up, every possession is going to be magnified. And you just can't afford to give one away where you get a great stop, steal, like I said, or defensive rebound, block shot, whatever it is, and it's coming back the other way, and you just give it right back. It's not just that you're losing a possession, but you're also giving them an extra possession, and it's just a momentum killer too.
I don't know.
I just think that's one thing I'd like to see them work on.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the second half again. But I know the first half was super clean. That was one of the things I noticed. They only had 2 turnovers total.
For sure.
In the first half. So that first half was really clean. You get out to a big lead. Some of the younger players especially going for that kill shot, right? Like that whole idea of you get the ball 3/4 court and you're trying to throw ahead, over the top of the defense. Not always the best idea. I mean, it looks good when it worked. I mean, JB, right, had that one where he
went behind the back.
He leaked out. Yeah. And that was a really nice play, really nice pass, quick hitter. But again, only 11 points off fast breaks tonight. So Utah did a good job getting back.
Right. I'm just saying I think it could be more if we were a little bit more careful in those situations. But I'm just splitting hairs at this point because it was a good win. Caleb did great. I would like to see, like I think David was saying early on, like, a little bit better shooting out of Jaden and KJ would be nice. We didn't need it tonight, but we're going to need it in those big moments, and we've had it in the past. KJ driving it and Jaden pulling up for those mid-range jumpers. I want to see those guys just get that back at the right time of the year.
Great stuff as always, Doug. We appreciate you checking in and looking forward to these next 3 games because, like you said, they are not going to be easy, even though Arizona State is not playing well. They're going to come in here with their hair on fire like they always do.
I do have one quick last question for you, my friend. Do you prefer a 17-1 Pac-10 season where Arizona doesn't have a challenge for a complete month straight, or do you prefer a year where every weekend you're going to see an NCAA tournament quality team?
Are you asking me, by the way, Jada?
I am. You're my friend.
Yeah. So as a fan, I want 17-1 because it's more wins. I mean, just kick back, enjoy a win, and then go on with the rest of every weekend, But as far as what's going to toughen us up for the tournament.
Go. Yeah, preparing you for any eventuality you might see in March, yeah.
This has been a gauntlet. The only caveat to that is, we've talked about, like, Shed getting injured for Houston, or back in the day, who was it for Cincinnati that got hurt right before?
Kenyon, yeah.
Kenyon Martin.
They were like at one loss.
I'm going to knock on wood.
They were undefeated, right? They were undefeated, and they lost like their last weekend of the regular season, and then he got hurt, and then they flamed out in like the second round,
Yeah, I think they were like number 1 in the country.
The whole year,
Yeah. So that's the catch. Like, you want to be battle tested, but not to the extreme where you're jeopardizing your roster. So I wouldn't mind a little bit of reprieve. Like, I think they're maybe going to condense it down to 18 games next year in the Big 12. Have you heard something like that?
I've heard rumors that's a possibility for sure.
So if they were to do that, and then maybe you squeeze in a few more directional schools in December and, to get your 40 games or whatever it is, I think I'd be okay with that, because 18 games in a conference like the Big 12 or the SEC or whatever, that should be enough to prove, to kind of toughen your metal, and then you still have to do the conference tournament too.
And there's and I'll say, put my coach hat on and former player, I'd rather play the better teams. I'd rather play the better teams. I understand the rest. We can rest after the season. Trust me, April comes faster than you know. March comes faster than you know. And trust me, when it's over, we're all like, man, I still have some energy to go. So, I think, I would rather play the 18, what is it, 18 games right now in the Big 12?
20. Right now it's 20.
No, I'd rather play the 20. Yeah. I'd rather play the 20 because it's better competition than playing the games against these teams that you don't know. I don't even remember those games. I don't remember the games versus the teams that you don't, whether it's football or basketball, I don't even really count them.
Well, there's like a 26-game winning streak versus the Cougars of Washington State, right? That falls in that category.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's like, who did they have that we beat? Like, you want to be able to say, you know what I mean?
Clay was in there a little bit.
I beat Ed O'Bannon, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to beat somebody.
Can we all agree on one thing, though? Like, if they do make it 18 and they do more, directional schools, let's just make sure we never go back to Atlantis. That's all I ask.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. There's 2 places we don't want to go to, all right? And they both start with A. One is Atlantis. The other is Anaheim. You keep our butts out of the pond, okay?
Let's just not play any more basketball. No more basketball in ballrooms. That's what I have to say about that.
Oh, man. No doubt. Yeah, no, Anaheim is the shop of horrors for Arizona basketball, and you can go back to the NCAA tournaments and look at why. But yeah, other than that, the other thing you can do if you have an 18-game conference schedule is you can mix in that sexy non-conference game like we used to have. You know, we used to play a Syracuse or a UConn or a Villanova.
Yeah, like in February.
Right? So, like, you cut it down to 18. You don't have to replace it with Northern Illinois. You can replace it with Syracuse or you know, Vanderbilt or whoever you want.
I mean, I'm not. To me, I mean, I'd rather play an in-conference team.
In-conference.
I understand.
The Duke series in the late 80s was that. Like the Duke games when they came to McHale and Arizona went to Cameron in the 80s, they played in February. So it was like that week when they have the ASU game and they only have the one game a week.
Right.
They would mix in a second game with a non-conference that they could schedule ahead of time, and that's what they're talking about.
But I bet you Coach Olsen wouldn't have done that. I bet you Coach Olsen wouldn't have done that if he was in a strong conference like the Big. We was in the Pac-12 where it's 14. I mean, the Pac-10 where it's only 3 to 4 teams really giving you competition.
Yeah.
So you're looking for those type of games. Tell you, Coach Lloyd, you don't have to look for those games now.
Coach Lloyd knows all about this, guys. He coached for 20 years in Spokane. Okay, St. Mary's, the Dons are pretty good. Like there's 2 or 3 teams of quality that he's played in conference over his entire career, right? And you know those Zags teams that had, 3 losses by the end of the season, hadn't been tested outside of the conference tournament, 1 game. Seeing competition week in, week out keeps you strong, right? Keeps you battle-tested and ready for anything.
Yeah. That's why they played the Murderers Row back in November and December every year. They would play everybody, Kentucky, Michigan State, Duke, everybody. And so the only positive I'm going to throw in there, if we could mix in a big non-conference game in the middle of the conference season, is that when we talk about strength of schedule and we look at net rankings, all of the strength of the conference is based on how you did in November and December. But teams change a lot between that time and February.
Yeah.
And so I think it would be cool to see all the conferences play some little, inter-conference games. Duke just played Illinois. I don't know why. But if you did that,
was interesting.
If you could mix that in, excuse me, you kind of get a better gauge of, okay, how are the conferences stacking up now? Because everyone's just assuming that the SEC is so much better than all the other leagues. But if they all had to play some non-conference games right now against a Big 12, a Big 10, an ACC, you might find out, they're kind of just on par with, those other conferences. So I don't know. I think that would still be cool to mix in.
Awesome, Doug. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
For sure. Thanks for the time. Bear down.
Absolutely. Doug in Tucson. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Let's pause for station identification here. You are listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
All right, let's give our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game here. And we had 3 players with 10 rebounds in this game. Toby Awaka for the good guys. Lawson Lovering for the bad guys. 6 points, 10 rebounds. And what a game for Keanu Dawes on the other side for Utah tonight. He had 18 points on 6 of 8. He was 5 of 5 from the line. And he also had 10 rebounds.
You know what I was thinking the whole time when he was playing well, 'cause I was like, it's obviously they're going to lose. It's obvious that they're going to lose. But I was just thinking, I was like, man, this is going to be a good NIL money game for him. Right. He's going to be able to go and show a few teams that, hey, with a little playing time, look what I could do. So, that's what I was thinking. I was like, we'll be seeing him with another team next year because those guys are auditioning for other people now. Their coach got fired. Yeah. So now they got to, put together the best tape that they can because more than likely the new coach coming in probably don't want them.
Carter had 8 and 8 tonight, so he had 8 rebounds. Henry had 4 at the offensive end of his 7, including that nice one-handed slam dunk off the rebound off the miss by Caleb, I believe it was. So we got Toby, Henry, Carter. Who do you like?
I'm going to go young Carter today.
Ooh,
young
Carter.
Yeah, I'm going to go young Carter, man, because, being a freshman, rebounding in a tough conference like this versus, and he's been doing it all year. And so, I just think this is one of the games where I got to give him my nod.
I don't think he's had a double-digit rebound game.
He had 1.
Yeah, did he have 1?
I think he had 1 for some reason, I believe.
All right, I'll have to check on that one as well. But 8 pretty. Let's see, I got it here right now. He has had 2. He had 11 against Kansas State, and he had 10 against Arizona State. So he's had 2 games.
Some money.
There you go. Carter Bryant, I'll go with that. Carter Bryant is your Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Window Depot, lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Before we go to break, let's go ahead and hear from Josh Eilert, the head coach, the interim coach of the Utah Utes, who spoke after the game at McHale Center.
I just told the guys in there that I didn't recruit these guys. They didn't choose to play for me. They came here to play for somebody else. So the situation they've had to deal with the last couple of days is and how they responded is just ultimate professionals. It just shows what kind of kids and are representing this program, and I'm really proud of them. The way we got started in the game, I mean, to win on the road, and especially a place like this against a team that really doesn't have many holes, you can't get down and turn the ball over and dig yourself that big a hole. So, but I'm proud of them, proud of the resilience, proud of what they gave me, and a lot of kids that would shut it down and turn it off, but they kept fighting.
What were the last 48 hours or so kind of like for you and the team as far as what got you?
It's been hard. It's been hard emotionally. A 2-day prep turned into a 1-day prep because, I mean, Monday you're not going to, with all the emotions, you're not going to get anything out of them. So cooler heads prevailed and let them get a good night's sleep. And honestly, rest this time of year is as good as a hard day of practice. So we went at it yesterday and put a game plan together that we thought we could be successful with. And they responded. They did an absolute wonderful job and came out with energy and the right attitude. And like I tell them each and every day, there's going to be hard times in life. There's going to be a lot of adversity in life. And how you handle it and how you respond is going to be a testament to your character.
Did it help you that you kind of went through a similar thing at West Virginia, or was that different because that was the beginning of the year?
I think it certainly helped me be more comfortable in my skin. It's I wouldn't say it was the most. It's not really it's 2 totally different situations in a lot of ways. So I'm not really putting a huge a personal stamp on the program. I'm really just carrying forth what the foundation has been laid to this point. Last year's situation, it was unlike any other. I could write a book about it, and there's 10 chapters written already.
Arizona's been up and down recently. What do they look like when Caleb plays the way he does, like he did tonight?
I mean, I'd like to see him miss a couple shots. That would be helpful. No, he played really good. I probably should have locked him earlier and done some different things defensively to keep it out of his hands. Probably made that adjustment too late, but no, he's one of the best in the league, and when he's on, he's on. And tonight he was on.
Was there anything in particular Arizona was doing with Gabe to try to keep him from being able to get the looks he likes to get? I know he shoots from anywhere, but
yeah, nothing more than any other night. I thought Gabe was tremendous. I think he had a career high in assists. So he made good decisions, and we talked to Gabe a lot about that in terms of making good decisions with the ball, and sometimes giving it up and getting it back is a lot better than forcing a shot. But he was really good for me tonight, and of course we probably could have shot a little better and kept us in the game, but it is what it is.
Any other questions for Coach? Well, you kind of alluded to, but there's the way you guys kind of almost made a game up there late. I mean, specifically, you see anything changing there, and this is a game where you guys could easily hold the 10, you would think.
It's just the resilience of the guys. We pinpointed several things, before the game as the keys to, the number one was taking care of the basketball, and we had, 9 early turnovers, and you're not going to win on the road with, at that rate. So second half, we only turned it over 3 times, and we're, valued the basketball. And I thought we could have rebounded a little better. We had some guys out there really competing on the glass, but that's kind of been our bread and butter when we're clicking, is when we're really heavy on the glass. And I think we were -6, but second chance or 10 offensive rebounds in the second half. I like how they responded.
All right, that was Josh Eiler, the interim head coach of the Utah Utes after tonight's loss to the Wildcats at McHale Center, 83-66. His first comment since taking over that program after Craig Smith was fired on Monday. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday. We'll have much more. We still got our keys to the game to get to tonight. Scoreboard. We'll hear from the players as well coming up next. With Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot post-game coverage of Arizona basketball rolls on. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The post-game show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, Drain Medics, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, the Injury Lawyers, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Lexus of Tucson, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rockin' K, a master plan community designed by nature, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Police Department, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thama Ogden Nation.
I love my weekend rides across Arizona. I travel with all the protection I need. Helmet, gloves, leathers, and the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle fights hard to help injured riders across the state. Whether we're cruising through Carefree, slow riding in Sedona, or breezing through Bisbee, they find you doctors, manage medical bills, and get you back on your bike with the most money possible. Injured riding? The bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Bradley with the ball for the Cats, handed off to Love. Dribbles right, bounce, looked inside, nothing there for Del Orso. He drives right of the lane to the bucket, put it up high off the glass, and score it. First field goal of the second half for the Wildcats, and Utah, guess what? They throw it away at the other end.
Trying to go early offense to Asar in the low post. They got Jaden Bradley a possession ago to foul. This time, pass off the mark and another turnover.
12 turnovers in the ballgame for the Utah Utes. How about the Wildcats? They only had 7 turnovers in this game tonight. That was pretty impressive. We did not hand out our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game to Toby Awaka, but I think my favorite play in this game came from Toby Awaka, and it was basically when he walled up down on the block and literally didn't even have to move to get his one block shot tonight in the ball game. I think he actually had 2 block shots, but I forget which player it was. Might have been Jake Whalen. Went up, tried to shoot it, and just basically shot it right into Toby Awaka's arm.
Yeah, strength is one thing, but solid base. You got a solid base. Can't move that.
No.
Real quick before we get to anything else, we had a caller call in, and we're talking about the Caleb Love scoring more points than in his 5-year college career than Sean Elliott. He said that the forgotten guy nobody talks about anymore is Keneal Norman. If you're familiar,
right?
He only played 50 games, guys, without a 3-point shot. He has the 2nd and 4th highest per game average for his 2 seasons. Number 2 behind Kalidris. Kalidris has the number 1 highest scoring per game average in Arizona history. Keneal Norman's number 2 and number 4. So that's a guy who only played 50 games, one of the all-time great scorers that we never talk about. So shout out to the old heads.
Keneal Norman. I like that one right there.
24 points a game
and
72, 24 points a game with no 3-point line.
Yeah, absolutely. Great numbers there. Sean Elliott, number 1 all-time, 2.555, as Doug had stated. Bob Elliott, number 2 all-time, 2.131. The only 2 guys to ever score 2,000 or more points.
Jason Gardner tried real hard.
He did. He came up 16 points short. 1984 total.
He got him up.
Jason Gardner.
Yeah, I was always jealous of Jay.
I was
always jealous of him because he got to shoot whatever shot he wanted.
Green light from day one. Day one, K-Rock. He had the green light.
I mean, the ultimate. And imagine all the players he played with.
You're right.
Wow.
Right. Cinderfella is watching the show. Cinderfella, day to day. I don't think that's the same guy. Cinderfella is watching the show on Instagram Live. He says Iowa State lost to Houston last week, which they did. They were 2 starters short, which they were. Will they be shorthanded on Sunday? Well, Curtis Jones did play in the game last night for Iowa State. He played 29 minutes, scored 11 points. Keyshawn Gilbert, however, was held out again. So 2nd straight game that their fabulous point guard, Keyshawn Gilbert, has not played. After the ball game, TJ Oldsberger said, I just know he wasn't available, and we're going to continue to act in his best interest and do what's best for him. Make sure that his health is first and foremost. when he's ready to play, he will. So sounds like Keyshawn Gilbert will likely be questionable. We still obviously have a few days to go. Didn't play last night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 3 days before the game, 3 full days of rest before Saturday's game in Ames, Iowa. So we shall see. But right now, I would classify Keyshawn Gilbert as questionable for Saturday.
Yeah, he's day-to-day. Curtis Jones had an illness, right? And that's why he was out.
Didn't play the game.
Right.
Yet.
Curtis Jones had an illness. That's why he initially didn't play. Keyshawn Gilbert has a muscle strain, so he's day-to-day.
Yeah, it is an injury in terms of him, for sure. All right, let's go back down to McHale Center and hear from the players. We had Toby Awaka and Carter Bryant after a 83-66 win over the Utah Utes.
But, the fact of the matter is that we gave up 90-plus points. So defensively, we had a lot of areas to improve in, and I thought we responded well today. JB, Caleb chasing 55 around the court, do all those screens, Henry blocking shots, contesting shots, being in help, playing great paint defense, stuff like that. I thought we really improved in.
When Caleb plays the way he did tonight and sometimes throughout the season, how much better are you guys?
I feel like we're unstoppable. When you have a All-American playing the way he does at that high of a level, it's very hard for us to be beat because we have so many weapons on the court, guys that can get downhill, guys that can make reads on and off the ball, whether that's cutting, and he has so much gravity. I think that's been one thing he's really starting to learn this year is just the gravity he has on the basketball court.
For either of you, have you ever played in a game against a team that had just fired its coach right before?
No.
Did you see anything from Utah where this looked like a team that was trying to do something different because they just went through something?
No, not necessarily. I think they did a great job of just coming out and competing at the end of the day. That's all you can ask for, especially in a situation like that. They came out, competed to the best of their abilities tonight. And, props to them. They have really good players and a good coaching staff.
Can we expect Headman Carter to stay?
I don't know. It might be Tope's call.
I like it personally. I think he rocks it.
Anything led to that, Carter, or superstitions, or just changing it up? Or?
No, KJ and Trey were supposed to wear it with me tonight, but they didn't end up wearing it. They left me out there alone. Lone soldier.
Wear it at the next game?
I don't know. I might make them wear it. I might just put it on their heads for them.
Do you guys feel? How do you feel in general? You seem like, among other things, the way you've evolved this year. Early in the year was a lot of talk. If Caleb's on, this team can't win. Now you've proven you can win without him, and then, like you said today, you've got him going on. It kind of gives you that extra cushion. Or what would you say about the way he's kind of evolved, and you guys have also around him?
I think he's just playing free. A guy of his caliber, a guy of his status, there's a lot of pressure on him, and he's way harder on himself than any of the coaching staff, any of us as teammates, and I think it was just really just take a deep breath and just know who you are, know what your talent is, and go out and show the world, and I think that's what he's been doing as of late. And then, we as teammates are supporting him through the highs and the lows, making sure that he stays even keel, and he's a leader for us.
You too, Toby. But Carter, do you see a difference in Caleb maybe defensively? Everyone talks about shooting, but it seems like what he did on Madsen helped. Madsen anyway helped. And do you find in practices even he's a different guy defensively?
Yeah, in practices, workouts, in the game, I feel like he's always been a pretty good defender, really good defender. But I think we're starting to more light is starting to be shed on it just because he's guarding some of the best players in the country night in and night out. He's doing a great job. And I think that not necessarily that he gets disrespected, but like he's a really good defender, whether it's on or off the ball. He's always engaged. He's always reading the passing lanes. He gets his hands on passes constantly. He's actually a pretty good rim protector for his size. So like just seeing those things from him, and also him being the leader of this team, him doing all the little things, the dirty work, just constantly giving effort and energy on the defensive end of the ball. It gives everybody else no excuse to do the same.
For both of you, what does it mean to see a guy like Grant come in, hit a shot, especially in Big 12 play, don't get the opportunity a
I mean, personally, Grant is one of my favorite human beings, just period, beyond basketball and all that. You know, during practice, he's such a killer, you know, doing what he does. And then just to see him, you know, showcase that tonight at the end of the game, it was really fun to see.
I agree. I remember when I first came to school, we were playing open runs, and I was like, yo, there's no way this dude is a walk-on.
No,
like,
facts.
he was mid-range 3 to the rim, however you wanted it. So seeing him to go get those 2 rebounds, me and Tobe looked at each other when he got that first rebound. We were like, that was better than any rebound we got tonight. But for him to hit that shot as well, I mean, he puts in work just like anybody else on the team. So it was great to see him do that tonight.
What do you guys expect Saturday, you know, especially after that game you have with Iowa State here, and the reputation there, of course, seems like it's a pretty crazy place.
We expect nothing less than a dogfight. Great basketball team, great coaching staff. So we're just going to go in and play as hard as possible. We're going to be locked in defensively, offensively, understand our schemes and coverages and their personnel and tendencies. We're just going to go out and hope for the best.
It looks like Houston's, you know, they clinched the tie for first as a second. If you beat Iowa State, you know, maybe you're in position for second at least. I mean, is that, you guys thinking about that kind of stuff, or is it more, you know?
I mean, the only thing in our heads right now is win out the regular season. You know, people like to get caught up on all the standings and stuff, but I think, you know, you're trying to win every game no matter what, so just stay locked into that.
Yeah, just trying to get better day by day, practice by practice, not try to look too far ahead. Just try to learn from our mistakes tonight and even BYU and just keep moving forward.
All right, those are the players after the game, Carter Bryant and Toby Awaka. Carter finished the game again with 8 points and 8 rebounds. Toby Awaka, on the other hand, 12 points and 10 rebounds, a third straight double-double for Toby Awaka. And that is absolutely what you want to see from that young man as this team ramps up towards the postseason.
The best reaction I've ever seen from a bench ever in Arizona history was Sean Elliott, Steve Kerr, et al., like the entire starting lineup of that 88 team, on the bench during a probably USC 40-point blowout. And there was a former quarterback recruit on the team named Craig Bergman who hit a 3, and I've never seen the bench, Kelvin. I've never seen an Arizona bench ever, outside of winning a title. Never seen a bench react like that. Those guys, and we all know, you know, the young man they're talking about could be playing and could be putting up 10, 15 points, Whiteman, right? I mean, he's a baller. Chose to be a walk-on, but that love for those guys, Kelvin, who are running the scout team and, you know, doing their thing behind the scenes that the fans don't get to see. I mean, you could always tell the joy when one of those guys gets in and gets the stat. I mean, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, like you said, most of those guys could play at a smaller, you know, low major or a D2 school. They could be playing. Even some guys could even play at NAU, like Coach Lloyd's son was doing, right? And but a lot of these guys want to play for their hometown school. They want an opportunity to play Division I, so they're practicing every day, scout team. So you know that they can play. It's just about opportunity. And so when they get a chance to get in the game and make a play like that, I remember I was one of the bench guys, and I get a chance to make a play. My boys just all be happy for me and excited because they know how hard you worked and how much time you put in, just like everybody else.
Now, I'm not there at the end of the games anymore because, again, I leave it around the 8-minute mark. But it doesn't seem like when I have been there, it doesn't seem like when I first got here in 2008, it just seemed like there was a lot more love for the walk-ons when they would get in the game. Like, because I just remember the mania around guys like David Baga when I first got here. And I don't think it's the same way anymore. I think, and you got local kids. You got, you know, guys like Grant Whiteman and Will Mana, who from Catalina Foothills, but I don't think it doesn't seem like it's as coordinated in terms of the Zona Zoo and the fan base being, you know, crazy about those guys like it was back in the day.
It becomes a bit of a meme, right? Like Baga was a meme because he was undefeated in games he played. So like there was an element to like the crowd cheering for him coming in as the, you know, the white flag for the other team type of thing. And I know Coach Olson used to empty benches up 20 with about 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, something like that. He would give those, you know, 7th, 8th through 12th guys some actual time out there. I know Coach, Miller did something similar. Coach Lloyd doesn't seem like he puts those guys in until there's maybe like 50 seconds left, right? And so there's only like a couple of plays. The big thing is like the guys that you hear those great cheers for, the guys who have been there for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And, the excitement from the crowd is what we just talked about. We know that's love from the crowd for those walk-ons who've been with the program, been behind the scenes, been practicing, been putting the guys through the motions on the scout team and everything. Because, and that's a junior-senior walk-on kind of thing. When senior day comes, those guys are going to get their flowers.
And speaking on that, these two guys that we're talking about from Tucson, they've been there 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Right? Basically the whole time, right? And,
I heard a big cheer today. I don't know if you saw that when they got in, but the crowd definitely gave them some love for sure.
All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's review what we thought the Wildcats needed to do to win this game tonight.
Wildcats fans, our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealer that is different.
All right, keys to the game went as such. I believe, J-Dub, you went first on this one?
You just need to maintain the level of focus they've had over the course of the past 10, 15 games. Don't look ahead to Iowa State. Make sure that you don't take this Utah team lightly despite their record and the fact that they just fired their coach. Lock down on D. That was a big issue versus the BYU Cougars. I'd like to see them hold Utes to somewhere under 43, 44% from the field and less than 15 assists. That's a team that passes the ball around a lot. As you mentioned, DK, one of the leading assist teams in the country. Get in those passing lanes, make it difficult on ball defenders, keep those numbers lower than what they average. And you got to dominate the boards. This is the third longest, tallest team in the country. They really are a team that's going to use that length. Not a lot of great athletes, but as far as what they're trying to do, you cannot let them abuse you on the boards. And Arizona comes in with the reputation of being a great rebounding team. Show that. So I'd like to see them win the boards at least by 5, potentially 10. And 3, you just have to play this team like it's a top team in the league. I mean, that's the biggest issue with games like this. They lost their coach this week. They've struggled at times this year. Don't play the Utah Utes as if they are the 9th, 10th best team in the conference. You got to play this team moving forward. Every single game has to be approached as if it's a one-and-done scenario because that's where we're getting into that time of year. The focus has to be there. You have to make sure that you come out and play this game. I'd like to see them get out to an early lead, DK, maintain that lead, stretch it out, and put the Utes away pretty early. Show that they're the more dominant team. Those are my keys tonight versus the Utes.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I was 0 for 3 last game, so, I mean, that was a bit...
Had to come back today.
Yeah, a bit better that time.
Had to come back. Did I go next?
I'm not sure. Let's find out.
I think I did. I think, again, we mentioned kind of how they are. They are one of the best assisting teams in the country, number 1 in the Big 12. Last 4 games, they're sitting at around 16 per game. I'd like to see maybe that number be under 12. In this game. Keep it, like J-Dub said, stay in the passing lanes, keep those numbers down. And I think this is a team, frankly, that you can dominate inside. And when I say inside, I want you to get inside and get to the foul line, put them into foul trouble. They have a tendency to give up a bunch of offensive rebounds. So get to that, although they're pretty good at it as well. That's one of the other things I think you need to control them off. I think a couple games ago in that Kansas game, they had 16 offensive boards, and I think they followed that up with 20-plus in the game against Kansas State. So keep them off the offensive boards while at the same time dominating that offensive glass on your end. The Wildcats are the stronger team, I think, inside and should be able to do that tonight for an opportunity to win this game. So keep those, keep their assist numbers down, dominate them inside using your strength. 14 assists, so they didn't get to 16, but it wasn't the 12 that I was looking for. Both teams did pretty good on the offensive boards tonight. Utah had 14. The Wildcats had 16 offensive rebounds. 23 off second chance for Arizona on 16, 15 second chance points for Utah.
That's the key right
14.
there.
Yeah, so
yeah, only 15 points on their 14 offensive rebounds. That's the big key. That's why Arizona lost to BYU, right? I mean, or Houston too. Like if you get a bunch of offensive rebounds, but you don't convert those into points, that's tough.
And got to the line 29 times, making 22 for 76 or 75.9. So a little bit under the average, but still respectable tonight. Kelvin.
Defended 3-point line. I think BYU showed a way that you can beat Arizona by launching a lot of threes and hoping some go in. So you don't want Utah to get confident and think that they can do the same. So lock in and make sure that you defend the three-point line, force these guys to be two-point shooters. With that being said, don't foul them. Don't bail these guys out with fouls and give them free throws. They're not a team that can manufacture free throws, really, because they're not a real beat you off the dribble type of team. So play great defense without fouling. And as you guys both said, rebounding. You have to get the rebound. I think rebound is going to be huge in this game. You're playing a team that has so much length. I think one of the things they try to do is throw it up and go get it. We have to put a body on everybody to get those rebounds. And I think offensively, we have to be aggressive attacking the basket. I think that rebound putbacks would be a great opportunity for our bigs to be able to score because their bigs do like to come off and try to challenge shots.
45-39 was the rebounding edge in favor of the Wildcats. Utah did get to the line 22 times in this game, making 17.
Yeah, it was a few too many times for me. I felt like that, again, they're not a real penetration-heavy type of team. So there were some situations where we could have been a little less handsy, but I think that is a part of our culture right now. Our guys, we have a lot of guys that get those hands in there. To start with KJ and Carter and then Jaden Bradley, so I probably got to live with that.
And they were only 3 for 4 in the first half. So 14 of 18 in the second half from the free throw line were the Utes.
And all 8 of Arizona's steals came from different guys. 8 different guys had 1 steal in this game. Pretty much all the guys that in the rotation had at least 1 steal in the ball game. That was pretty good. Kelvin, any final thoughts?
A good win. You want to lock it in and finish up. Home is the last home game, right?
One more.
This weekend?
Yeah. No. This is road Saturday, home Tuesday.
Oh, road. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
we're at Iowa State.
Okay, so that's a good home win because you needed that one to just make sure that you're ready for that road game and get and to come back and finish for the home game. But good home win. You needed a win. Had lost a couple there besides the one win. So you need to get that taste of winning again and feeling good about each other. So they can get right back to a great defensive night. I wanted to add that too. That was a real good defensive effort versus a team that could have been dangerous from the 3.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of hostile arenas, guys, but Hilton Coliseum is one they haven't seen yet, and that might be right up there. Like, it's definitely top 3 or 4, so those guys are going to be waiting for sure.
All right, Kelvin, we'll talk to you on Saturday.
All right, guys.
All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll hear from the head coach. 83-66, Wildcats beat Utah. You're listening to Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Looking to upgrade your home? The Window Depot is your go-to spot for Milgard windows and patio doors. Select from a variety of styles, including aluminum, vinyl, or fiberglass, to start your journey to a brighter, more beautiful home. The Window Depot has Milgard windows in stock, ready to go home today, or their team can help you with a special order. Whether you're looking for energy efficiency, aesthetic appeal, or custom solutions, they've got you covered. Build the home you deserve with Milgard windows and doors from the Window Depot. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
It's cold outside and you need safe, reliable heat for you and your family. For a limited time, Pixarock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering a free furnace with the purchase of a qualifying HVAC split system. For fast, reliable service, call Pixarock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or pixarockscooling.com.
At University Termite and Pest Control, we handle all your pest problems. Maybe a few family ones, too.
Wait, you can even take care of my in-laws?
I always tell people we'll take care of anything, even in-laws. You just have to dig the hole.
Okay, but seriously, is it okay for our pets?
Absolutely. It's okay for pets, kids, anything you want to live, will live.
Call us today at University Termite and Pest Control. We'll squash those pests and enjoy it.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu.
Totaled in Tucson.
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
to Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think first chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. Let's take a look at what happened around the rest of the country. The college basketball scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
Two other games in the Big 12 tonight. Up in Tempe, 25th ranked BYU beats Arizona State 91-81. Richie Saunders, 26 points, 6 rebounds. So the Cougars continue to roll. What is that now? 6 wins in a row, I do believe, for them. Kansas State falls at Central Florida, so they lose again. 80-76 was the final there. Keyshawn Hall continues to be a big-time scorer in the Big 12. He had 26 points tonight for the Knights. Games in the top 25 this evening.
I might have some sound for one of them.
Oh, well, yeah, that was from the Michigan State game, right? Let's hear that.
Michigan State, Maryland. This is how it ended.
No timeouts left for Maryland. They got to go. Gillespie for 3. Goal or no. Holloman looks the clock. Half court for the win. Oh my goodness. Holloman from half court to win it on the road.
That was the craziest live ball play, DK, because Maryland had the ball about 7 seconds, as you heard there. Came down, they took a 3 from the wing with 4 seconds left, hit the front of the rim. Michigan State rebounded 2 dribbles, half-court shot. So there were 2 shots within the last 4 seconds, one from half-court, and it was pure, just like Caleb's shot, straight through the net.
Best defensive team, one of the best defensive teams in the country. You can't defend a shot like that.
No, but it was 55-55 in regulation before that shot went in. So very low-scoring defensive game for sure.
Number 8, Michigan State beats number 16, Maryland, 58-55. Other games of note tonight. The number 1 team in the country wins by 30. Auburn over Ole Miss, 106-76. Kentucky gets a 1-point victory on the road at Oklahoma. In terms of the U of A, a couple of games on Wednesday night involving baseball. They win on the road at Rice 11-8. Softball gets a victory at Loyola Marymount out in Los Angeles by a score of 7-6. That is your scoreboard. Let's hear from the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd.
Just give me 1 second, DK. Hold on 1 second.
Don't forget, we will be on the air on Saturday at 3:30 once again, same time as we were on today, 3:30 for the pregame show, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, and tip-off at Iowa State's at 7. Let's hear from the head coach, Tommy Lloyd.
Brady and Landon Smith are Craig's kids. And one's the director of operations, the other's a walk-on. And both those kids showed up today, and which is pretty amazing. I mean, I know you guys, this is a business, and this is a hard business, and I get all those things, but, like, we all have families. We all have kids. And for his kids to show up today, and, you know, and Craig, I talked to him today, and didn't have one bad word to say. Straight class. For his boys to show up today with their teammates, it says something. This stuff's hard. What we go through, even when it's going good, it's hard. And I know you guys have opinions and this and that. This isn't against the media. This is just society in general. And us guys that decided to coach, there's a lot of really cool things that come with it. But there's a lot of tough stuff. There's a lot of tough days. And you know what? There's a lot of times your family gets neglected because what we're doing to try to, you know, to prove our worth as a coach, to prove our value, to prove that we belong at this level. And so I got a lot of respect for those two young men. Yeah, it's impressive. Those dudes showed up with their teammates today. And the Utah team, they played their ass off today. And I knew they were going to throw some curveballs at us, and they obviously did with the triangle and two in the second half. And hey, we got the victory. That was mission accomplished. Our guys played pretty well for certain parts of the game, and you know, we respect Utah and those guys showing up today, with considering everything they're going through. So I'll take some questions.
How about that you called Craig Smith? I mean, was that an awkward conversation to have?
Bruce, every exchange between humans doesn't have to be awkward. And he and I are colleagues, and you know, we got to know each other coaching in the Pac-12, and we kind of came into the league together. So, you know, but I think, you know, do Craig and I talk on the phone a lot? No. Do we completely understand what everybody goes through all the time? Yes. So you develop a brotherhood, because there's not too many people that know what your life's really like, and the stress you feel, and the pressure that's on you, and trying to figure out your team and everything comes with it. It was just one guy calling another guy because he respects him, and I just wanted him to know that, hey, he's a great dude, and sorry that happened, and I hope he and his family are okay. I called him.
When Caleb plays like he does, like he did tonight, how much different is the team?
I mean, Caleb was great today at both ends of the floor. You know, he really took that challenge to guard Madsen. Madsen's a heck of a player. We had played against him for 3 years. 3 years. You talk about an energizer bunny and relentless energy. That dude is moving all the time. And the degree of difficulty on some of his shots that he can hit are impressive. I thought Caleb did a great job. I mean, he guarded him for the most game. I mean, I think I looked at the final stats. He ended up 2 for 10 from three, but I only think he had 8, you know, until the last minute. So Liam Lloyd and Grant Whiteman each gave him a 3, so they probably got a set of lines tomorrow. But Caleb did an amazing job for the horse game, and I think he banked one of those 3s in, right? Didn't he in the first half? The first one was a bank 3, I think. So Caleb did an amazing job. You know what? But here's your reward. You get a chance to do it again on Saturday. So, you know, what you did today was great, but now it's March basketball. It needs to be again Saturday.
Does it lift the team? Does it just make it look different?
Well, for sure. I mean, listen, Caleb obviously gives us a higher ceiling. And he plays with that energy and focus at both ends of the floor. Obviously, we're a better team. You know, you probably could say that for a bunch of other guys on our team too. But when guys play well and we play well, and so you know, Caleb was a standout tonight, and other guys have been standouts on other days.
Can parts of the second half feel casual, maybe from the effort standpoint?
I mean, listen, a little bit. I mean, maybe a little bit casual. You know, but they were throwing a lot at us. You know, they're going down, switching defenses every possession, and you know, this time of year, you know, you're playing teams, and you know, the deeper you get into March, and this time of year, teams are pretty set in the ways they do things, and obviously there's a little curveball here. And, I had not seen him play much triangle in 2, but I also knew Josh, and he's been in this situation before. He went through it last year at West Virginia. Sometimes when you're in that role, you can come in and throw pitches that maybe aren't in your repertoire. And he did that today, and so that kind of made the game feel a little bit disjointed. But I'm proud of the way our guys handled it. Listen, I could have coached it different. I could have called timeouts and started getting on the whiteboard and all this stuff. But I'm fine that we struggled a little bit. We got the win. We dealt with a little bit of adversity. Hey, maybe now next time if somebody tries a triangle and 2 on us, we can address it a little bit and be a little bit more familiar with it.
All right, that is the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd, after a 83-66 win over the Utah Utes. We'll get our final break in, and we'll come back and we'll wrap it up after this. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, final segment on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's free furnace season at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we're offering 60 months no interest financing, tax credits up to $2,600, energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockinK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Upgrade with new windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom order windows to fit your style and budget. With our exclusive SI window brand, made right here in the USA, you'll get a full lifetime warranty, including glass replacement, for ultimate peace of mind. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you and start your project today. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 5-star Google reviews from across Arizona. Like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. after any accident, remember, deferred is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.com.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. That's when we know we have won a basketball game. Quick final thoughts, J-Dub, after an 83-66 Arizona win over Utah.
Yeah, pretty, lunch pail effort today. I think they really came out with a lot of effort and intensity in that first half, and looking forward to the game on Saturday, DK, more than anything.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to the trip to Hilton. That's a good Cyclones team, so bear down.
Hilton Coliseum, Ames, Iowa, Iowa State, and Arizona. Should be a fun time coming up on Saturday. Thanks to everybody who's a part of these broadcasts. Dusty Dale ran the dial on the FM side, 107.5 K-Hit. Dragon Ball David, I'm out of here on the AM side. And as always, most of all, thanks to you for listening. Giving you that final score, final time from McHale Center in front of 14,264 was number 22, Arizona 83, Utah 66. Thanks to 23 points and 7 assists for one Caleb Love. He led the way. For Kelvin Yvonne and JW Mad, my name is David Kelly. Have a great rest of your morning, soon to be morning. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. DK on the Sports Tip at 3. Bear down, Arizona.
Want me in the NBA. When Tolbert plays, he plays to win. I put it up and it goes in. Give Kerr the ball, give Kerr a hand. I'll drill it in from three-point land. Ask the Gumbies, ask the refs. We don't do drugs 'cause we're the best. W-I-L-D. Cats. W-I-L-D. Wildcats. W-I-L-D. Cats. We're wild about the cats. W-I-L-D.
Wildcat Nation, you've been listening to our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show has been brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. Join us right here on Game Day for complete coverage of Arizona basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wake your asses up. Al Cintron on the Infinity Sports Network. The number to join the show, 855-212-4227. Got my man Pete Bellotti behind the glass. Pete, what's up, brother?
What's happening?
Everything's good?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say junior, and now I just did.
Right.
All right, so we're going to be talking a little Stafford. Why do Steeler fans hate Mike Tomlin? A little poking of the Cowboys, some Aaron Rodgers, Luka the Hookah. Whatever else you want to talk about at 855-212-4227. Now, the big story in the NFL has been Matt Stafford and where he ends up. If the Rams trade him, do they hold on to him? To me, I think it's a huge mistake if the Rams trade Matt Stafford. And here's why. You had the ball with a chance to beat the now Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles in Philly with the snow, in the snow. You didn't get it done, but you have a nice young core. You played above your heads. Nobody had the Rams doing this season, this past season. No one. No one. But to me, you cannot make that mistake if you're the Rams and let Matt Stafford go. You just can't. Unless somebody completely goes overboard and offers you a boatload of picks, then that's the only way I can see you doing it. But to me, Matt Stafford is the guy to play quarterback for the Rams. It's not Jimmy Garoppolo, which is hilarious. That also came out that, well, they could be fine with Jimmy G. And no. Enough of Jimmy G. I'm surprised he's still in the damn league. But the Rams have a nice young core of players. Stafford is one of the best quarterbacks in the game, still at the age of 37. And it's the perfect place for him. Now, if you do trade him, and if you're Matt Stafford, you want to leave, because they gave his agent permission to go seek a trade, where do you go? I'll tell you one place you don't want to go, and that's the New York Giants. You saw how that worked out for Aaron Rodgers coming to New York. I know 3-year difference, 3-4 year difference, whatever it is, in age. But that offensive line is trash. It's trash. And Matt Stafford, breaking news, is not Lamar Jackson. He's not. It's not even Jalen Hurts when it comes to running the ball. He is a statue back there who needs time to throw the ball and pick defenses apart, which is what he did for the Rams. I believe he's 11 or 12 games over 500 as a starting quarterback for the Rams. But the Giants is not the place for Matt Stafford, especially if he wants to live a nice, long, productive life.